Gearhead 327. In today's video I want to show you guys how I took these jumper cables from this to this. Alright, now these are some jumper cables that I pulled out of a dumpster. Somebody threw them out, and you can see why they did, because of the condition, and you can see that I'm guessing this is 1/0 right here, and this stuff is all hard and cracked and everything, and it's just outlived its service life. And you can look at these clamps right here, and they well, they're dead. I mean, we could put electrolysis on them, but the spring in them is probably gone. But guys, I'm not going to be jump starting the space shuttle with these, or trying to run voltage from one Tesla to another, or jump starting a locomotive or anything like that. This is just going to be for home use, farm use. Now some of you might say, well, why don't you just strip this out, scrap it, and put that towards buying some new 1/0 welding cable. And that's a great idea, guys, but these are they're 25 feet long, so 2 times 25 is about 50, and copper is about $2.50 a pound. So if I get 10 pounds or 15 pounds, that's 25, I don't know, $35 maybe. And this stuff, to buy a foot of 1/0 is $7 to $10 a foot. So if you got 50 feet, you're looking at $350 on the low side, and $500 on the high side just for that. And that doesn't include the clamps. Now, yeah, they'd be some good cables, but I'm going to take you guys along, and you can already see what I've done here. There we go. I'll show that to you. That's not the finished product. I need to put some rubber tape on that. But anyway, I'm going to show you how I did it. Alright, this roll is about to run out, so we're going to start a new roll, and then I'm going to overlap with that one, so there's not a break in it. Alright, well, we got those all wrapped up. Let's, these, like I said, I don't see any repairing those. All right, well, we need something. We need to buy some new clamps, or we need to make our own. And this is a clamp, guys, but it's for woodworking. But I think it might be able to be modified, and it's only 99 cents. So let's see if we can start the modification here. We're going to somehow attach this to this, and I think this will be strong enough to make a battery clamp. Alright, let's see how we're going to do it. Alright, well, I guess some of you can see where I'm going with this. Okay guys, it's going to look something like that. Of course that other piece needs to go in there, but when I put it in there without the bolt in it, it just wants to clamp into a piece of pipe. So I'll have to get that secured, and then I'll show you how I'm going to attach the wire to this. But this should make a battery clamp. I don't know how well it's going to work, but we'll find out. I got a couple extra of these made right here, and I kind of cleaned them up with that little belt sander right there. So, all right, well, all we need to do is figure out how to mount these to this and mount this wire right here, and we'll be good to go. Okay, guys, like I said, they're not the prettiest things. I kind of chewed that up there a little bit, but this is the way these little dollar clamps are working, and I have a lug here. And I bought these lugs from this company right here. They were relatively inexpensive, a lot less expensive than if you went up to Home Depot. And I went up to Home Depot and Lowe's, and they didn't have them. So I had to buy them online. They were actually bought for another project, but thought I'd use them for this. But this is how they're working out. And they already have a hole drilled here. I had to enlarge that to 5/16 because that's the bolts I'm using. And you can see they're not the prettiest things going, but what I do like about them, guys, is this lug right here. This makes a substantial connection right here, and a lot of times these things hook up down here and they just crimp over. This right here, if the wires ever break off over the course of time, I can just strip it out, move it up, and then tighten it down with that lug. So now they are not the prettiest things going, but I'm not going to be entering them in a Miss America jumper cable contest either. They, like I said, came out of a dumpster, and you could spend the money and buy some real good lugs for it, but that's up to you. I'm going the cheap route. I'm just showing you what you can do. I'm not going to be using these commercially for roadside, emergency business or anything like that. And if I had a family member or a friend and they called me out and they need a jump start, and I pulled these out and they made fun of them how ugly they were, then I would just leave and say, well, you obviously need to call someone else. So guys, I don't see that happening. Most people are going to be happy if they get their car started, and I'll be happy if I can jump start my tractor. Alright guys, one thing I am doing is I'm coating all the surfaces with a light grease so that that will help mitigate the corrosion. This is one that got away from me. I was glad I had a hold of it with a pair of pliers. Had that been in my hand, it would have really done some damage. But I'm just putting a little bit of that grease on there. Maybe Noah logs might be a better option if you have some. Alright, I got these laid out here, and these things are, as you can see, about 25 feet long. Alright, I just shut that down, guys. In case you're wondering, this is my part of my solar project right here that I'll be doing on my other channel. But this, you saw, this is not even warm. It's still cold. Now, out there at the generator, they were just, they weren't hot. Just a little bit warmer than cold. And you can see this, I didn't show this before, but the batteries were, these have been sitting in here for some time, and I've got no charger on them. Like I said, I'm doing a project here. But this has brought it up from 12 volts to 12.6. And I only had it running for about 20 minutes. But anyway, guys, these jumper cables, I think, are going to work out nicely. The only improvement I think we could make is if we were to put some teeth on them. They're on there, and obviously they had a good connection, or they would have got hot during the charging process. Okay, there's the finished product, and you guys saw it in action, and you saw where I was able to touch this while it was charging, and it was cold. Now, I don't recommend you do that. I was just doing to see it was making a good connection. I looked up a set of these online, 1/0 jumper cables, 25 feet long, and they were $420, and that did not include delivery. So what did it cost me to refurbish these things I got out of a dumpster? Well, guys, this was $11. I bought that. I did not end up using it because I had a piece of this rubber tape left over, but this was $19. The clamps and the bolts from Home Depot were $8.50, and those lugs were $2.50 each. And this copper pipe that I cut up, that's some stuff I had on hand. If you had to buy that, I don't know what that would cost, but that was free to me. So I got about $30 in these right here. If you had to buy the rubber tape, you know, you're going to add another $19 onto that. So, but for me, 30 bucks, and I've got some very capable jumper cables that are going to be able to handle pretty much any job I can throw at it. I was even thinking about just going ahead and just biting the bullet and buying the all copper jumper cables. So these things, there'll be no stopping them. And you know, if I get some cold diesel engines or something that need to be J started, then I'm going to be in business. Okay, Gearhead 327.